In the name of God, the most compassionate, the most merciful, and may the peace and blessings be upon his prophet and companions and lineage, Your Eminency, Dr. Yusuf Al-Qaradawi, the President of the Muslim Scholars Union, ladies and gentlemen. So trying to answer the first question at the beginning starts from praising the project of this center, because it is part of answering the question and also the right path that would enable us to study Islamic ethics and also to put Islamic ethics in the right position where it should be. We know that there are many institutions, centers, and universities specialized in ethics and also history and the tradition of Prophet Muhammad and also in the fundamentals. But here we have a specialized center that is specialized in the study of ethics and its relationship with Islamic legislation. And as we are trying to answer this question, we're trying to find the right path that would enable us to study Islamic ethics. This is going to be a starting point, and the starting point is to have a specialized center. So to have scholars, thinkers, whose main objective, if not the only objective, is to study this particular subject. That is why we're going to cover all the experiences, all the efforts in this center for them to start, and based on that would be able to delineate the right path that would enable us to study ethics. So whether we answer enough or we have covered some points that have to do with these questions, the presence of such kind of a center would be able to reach the ultimate answer that is required, which is the right path or the right methodology to study Islamic ethics. And this particular question and the question that come afterwards, both of these two questions should be allocated an independent workshop and also books and so on and so forth. So the right path to study Islamic ethics or ethics in Islam is to start in a comprehensive manner, an independent manner from the Quran and from the prophetic tradition. I am saying that because the many studies of ethics, most of them are studies that take from different sources, as it was clarified in detail by Dr. Abdel. There are many books in the Islamic heritage and that take from different sources, Farsi and also from Greek ethics and also from Islamic ethics, there is no doubt. And it tries to Islamize the ethics, or tries to come with theories from different sources and try to put them on an Islamic path. All these things are very good, very useful, but the most important, standing point or starting point should be from the reference point should be independently and from the Quran and from the prophetic tradition, because these are the pure sources of Islam and references of Islam. We have to start from these sources and build from these sources, and after that we can have other steps forward. And here I would like to indicate to a project that would facilitate and help this path, and which is the encyclopedia that was published a few years ago, which is Nadrat al-Na'im, in looking into the ethics of Prophet Muhammad, may peace and blessings be upon him. So this vision of Na'im is in 12 books that have been prepared and published, issued by Dr. Saleh bin Hamid and Dr. Abdurrahman bin Mallouh from Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. And this encyclopedia comprises of 12 books. The first book includes studies and researches, theoretical researches about ethics. And we have the last book, which deals with the, it includes and the references at the end. So this shows that this is a pure encyclopedia, Islamic encyclopedia that has included all the ethics, and it has distinguished between the good habits, habits, and also the bad habits, and it has included 161 chapters. So, and in total, we have 360 of these, bad ethics and good ethics. The provisions are taken from the Quran and from the prophetic tradition, and also from the wordings of our ancestors. So, this encyclopedia included all the crude material, all the basic material. So it is a narration and an inference of all these texts. So this is a good step, and I think it should be one of the steps that should be used in the study of ethics. So it emanates from the study of the Quran and prophetic tradition, and this is a great achievement. It included almost all the ethics and morals. So most of the morals and many of the morals that we can think about. The second point, or the second step indeed, we have to take into account that ethics are realistic and practical ethics, and not theoretical and philosophical ethics. This is a very important point that has alluded to by Dr. Al-Jabiri, because these the Farsi, they try to compare them to philosophical ethics that are part of philosophy. But Islamic, ethics is different by nature. It is not philosophical, and it is not part of any philosophical studies. When we link Islamic studies or ethics with philosophy, or to philosophy, and we try to find philosophical lessons, so the outcome would be very limited. But when we look at ethics as something that is much wider than that, and it is as a process that is part of all sciences and part of our practical and daily life, more than it is part of the sciences. So here we see that the scope is much opened, and it includes Islamic ethics that is much more practical. So dealing with Islamic ethics and taking into account that its most important value does not lie in the sense that it is philosophical or philosophized. This is very limited. Its value is very limited in this respect, but it is a much more practical, realistic, morals that was part of the explanation of the Quran, of the jurisprudence, and here we find that the scope is much more wider. Third, the third step on this path that I visualize here is to continue in finding the comprehensive values of Islam and ethics of Islam. And I mentioned the Nadrat al-Na'im encyclopedia, which includes 361 ethics. So this is the reality, but as a study, and classification. This seems to be desperate. Not unified. So whoever reads this encyclopedia will find 20 or 30 of these ethics can be referred to one basic or a number of limited of basic ethics. And the rest we can talk about the mother of ethics in Islam. So these efforts perhaps would be limited or wouldn't be comprehensive. So that is why we need collective studies, accumulation of studies for us to be able at the end to reach and to be reassured and say that the comprehensive ethics is X and Y and Z. Not necessarily in keeping with the classification of ethics as it is known in the Greek ethics, which are classified as 4 ethics, and not necessarily in the same methodology or leading to the same number of ethics, but we have to try to summarize these ethics into central and basic and prior and ethics that constitute a priority. So these are terms that I have referred to for us to be able to continue to work on their path or in keeping with the same studies, and many of the Muslim scholars have adopted these 4 principles of old ethics, which is wisdom, justice, valor, and chastity. And many of the other scholars, they have tried to find comprehensive fundamentals in addition to these Greek ethics. And for us to continue on this path, Ibn al-Qayyim refers all these values to a kind of elation, and also who says that the bad values go back to, arrogance. And these Islamic ethics have been summarized in justice and other components. And Sheikh Abdel al-Habannak said that Islamic ethics, most of them go to 11 roots, which is the social incentive, the willingness to give, chastity, valor, and also good ethics, and many others. And there is another book that is going to be published. We have chosen 10 ethics, which are considered the most central ethics and the most comprehensive, which is thanking God, chastity, loyalty, and many other, piety, and many others. And scholars and researchers have not only tried to find the comprehensive fundamental of these, but also the value, as it was done by Dr. Abdel al-Jabri. He said the central value of Islamic ethics. Dr. Daraz specified it in taqwa, and he said this is taqwa, and he mentioned that in his book. And Dr. Muhammad Abd al-Jabri, after a historical background, he said that the central value of Islamic ethic is good behavior. Fourth, or the fourth point, try to get all these traditions from jurisprudence, from Sufism, from literatures, and in the old tradition we find that the comprehensive books that we can rely on and benefit from, we have Kitab Jami' al-Sa'adat of Muhammad al-Mahdi al-Niraqi, who said, I have compiled and included in the book what has been mentioned in Sharia in addition to what the people of wisdom, philosophy, and Sufism have mentioned. And we have also comparative studies with other religions and other faiths. These comparative studies are mostly with the philosophical studies. So this is the problematic issue that I referred to at the beginning, but we need to have comparative studies with other faiths and other religions, especially that we have references and indications from Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. I was sent to this world to continue and to complete the best of ethics and the best of morals. So Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, he came to complete, to complement what the other prophets have come with. So this is a part of our Islamic heritage that is joined with other religions, with other faiths. And last, the recommendation, I hope that we will come up with a number of recommendations to adopt the science of ethics to be a comprehensive study. So this center was established. We would like, to have professors who are established, who are specialized in the field of ethics and Islamic ethics. So this is something that we aim to achieve. We should have, independent centers dealing with the issue of Islamic ethics, and also, disciplines dealing with the issue of ethics, and also scholars specialized and studies specialized in the topic of Islamic ethics.